Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. We are pleased to be joined by Drew Dollar, who will be a busy guy this week driving the number 51 Sunbelt Reynolds Toyota Tundra for Kyle Busch Motorsports at NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. And he'll also be driving the number 15 Sunbelt Reynolds Toyota for Venturini Motorsports in the ARCA Menard Series race on Saturday. How's it going?
Good. How are you doing, Casey?
Good, man. So kind of going into this, I know that you know your year has kind of been like, it's been a while since you've been in the truck. It's also been a little bit since it's not been that long since you've been in an ARCA car, but
Yeah.
kind of explain what your deal is this year with how many races you're running.
Yeah. It's kind of a mixed schedule. A little bit of trucks, a little bit of ARCA. It's a good schedule though. All the tracks I'm going to, I'm super excited to be at. And I think it's a schedule where I can be competitive at every single racetrack we show up at. So I've been having fast Camrys this year. I know I'll have fast Tundras through the rest of the year, and really looking forward to it, Casey.
Yeah, so kind of going into that, of course, the trucks, you haven't been in there for a little bit, I think since Daytona. You're running about a handful of races this year. What's it been like to get truck experience compared to, the ARCA cars last year?
Yeah, the trucks, I feel like the trucks is just, it's a little bit different. You're racing against guys who have a little bit more experience and a lot of competitive trucks as well. And working with a different team's been different as well. I've been with Venturini for a full year, and then when you go to transition to a different team at Kyle Busch Motorsports, everything's a little bit different. But I've been getting along really great with the guys at the truck team, and but yeah, I think the cars are a good bit different as well. You know how you got to drive them. The ARCA cars tend to be a little bit slower at the tracks we go to, and the trucks you carry a lot more speed and have a good bit more grip. So it's been fun, and working on the simulators really helps me tell the differences and all that as well. So that's helping me get up to speed.
Okay, so I know that you're running a majority of the ARCA races this year. A lot, it's more focused on the bigger tracks. Obviously to get more experience on them. But you've been pretty competitive since you've been in that ARCA car, running up there. With Ty Gibbs, especially at Dover. I know it didn't work out that way though.
Yeah.
But overall, you guys have had some pretty good speed once you've been to the racetrack.
Yeah, Casey, we've had a good start to the year. I feel good about it. We've had a fast Camry every time we've shown up. Really, that 18 is definitely one. He's a good one to compare yourself to and try to be as good as that, because he's been good pretty much at all the tracks this year. So he's a tough competitor, but hopefully we can get him at some of the tracks coming up. We've been learning as a team. He's been working with that team for a few years now, and this is my first time working with my the same group of guys that I have, that I've only had for about 3 races now in the ARCA series. So we'll get there, and we've been good. Like I said, every racetrack we just have needed a little bit more, and I feel like we could get some wins.
Okay, so this is also, if I'm not mistaken, is this your first time racing at Charlotte Motor Speedway? I don't know if you've
it's my first time racing on the big track. I used to race on the quarter mile and legend cars back in 2017 and 18.
It didn't everybody race legend cars though over there?
Sorry?
Didn't everybody race legend cars over there for like
it seems like it, yeah. It's Charlotte Motor Speedway has got some competitive legend car races in the summer, so
big time.
I think they're starting up soon, so I'll probably have to swing on by and try to check some of those out. But yeah, those are always fun. Me and some of my buddies would always race those for a couple of years, like some guys who are still racing in late models and ARCA as well now. So that's cool to see that. But yeah, I think there's been a lot of drivers. I'd say maybe about half the seems probably like half the cup fields run through legend cars at some time or another.
Yeah, pretty much. As I was saying, of course, this is the first time on the big track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. What's that going to be like to just race there? What are some of the challenges that you see coming into that race?
Yeah, it's I got the Charlotte test in ARCA, which helped, but the track's definitely a lot different than Kansas, because Kansas was really all I had to compare it to. Mile and a half that kind of speed and everything, but it just doesn't have near the grip, and it's not near as smooth as Kansas is. It's got a lot of bumps, and it's also a really tight track. Might not look like that from above. It looks pretty big, but when you're out there, the walls definitely close up on you pretty quick. So it's a tight track. You're carrying a lot of speed, and you got a lot of bumps. So it's definitely probably the toughest track I've been to, at least in the test. I thought that. So it's a lot to learn, but the Toyota simulator has been really good. I've gotten hours on the sim, specifically for Charlotte. So that's really helped me get up to speed. And when we fire off, which it's also nice we get practice. So that'll be another thing. But when we fire off for practice, I'll hopefully be out there and on the top of the board.
Of course, ARCA always has a practice qualifying session, and the trucks also, as well as the Xfinity and Cup Series, will also get practice as well. So that's got to be an added benefit for you. That both the races that you've ran in, you were able to get a practice session out of it.
Yeah, it'll be good having the practice. It definitely helps you familiarize yourself with the car that you have for the weekend and the track that you're going to be racing on, and kind of see where you fall in speed wise. But it's just really important to figure out how your car's handling, and racing at night, practicing in the middle of the day in the heat, and then racing at night's a lot different. So trying to figure out how to get your car set up to where you're going to be the best you can possibly be at the nighttime, versus worrying about so much. You don't want to worry too much about getting it to handle good in the sun.
Okay, so kind of going into in the truck, of course, you're working. This is the second time you're going to be working with Marty Lindley. Of course, everybody knows what he's done the last few years. Of course, the expert on short tracks, and of course, won the last two ARCA East championships with Sam Mayer at GMS. But what's it been like having him help you out? I know you haven't worked with him that much, but how has he helped you become a better driver?
Yeah, Casey, Marty's been really good for me. I've been at the shop a lot, and just being able to talk to him. Obviously, he was a great driver, and clearly he's a great crew chief as well. So just to talk with him and read over notes from previous races and talk with him about his experience at these tracks as a crew chief and as a driver at some of these tracks as well. It's really helped me, and I think working with a crew chief who's also been a driver is beneficial for young drivers like myself who are trying to figure out the car and the tracks at the same time, and also try to figure out different things that setup changes do on the car. Just talking with someone who's experienced like Marty, who as a driver and a crew chief, helps a lot. And it goes both ways for ARCA as well. Having Billy Venturini, he's been a good driver and a good crew chief as well. So that helps to have someone who knows what you're feeling in the car, and it makes it easier to relay that message.
All right. Well, we got a few more minutes left, but let's kind of get to know you a little bit, Drew.
Sure. What's up?
Okay, so you, of course, everybody. Well, people don't know this, but you're also a pretty good tennis player yourself. Of course, you played in high school.
Yeah, we haven't picked up a racket in a while. I was actually back home. So the tennis team I was on in high school, they went to state about a month ago or a few weeks ago now. So I showed back up for that and was able to watch that. That was the first time I'd been around a tennis racket in about a year or two. I hit a few balls then, but I hadn't been out on tennis court in a while before that. So we'll see. I don't know how good of a tennis player I am now.
Well, do you have any racing superstitions?
Not at all. I try to stay away from that. Yeah, I really don't have any superstitions. I feel like as long as you put in the work and focus when you're at the track, things will turn out the way they need to.
Okay. Favorite all-time movie?
All-time movie. That's tough. I'd say American Made probably. That's kind of what I'm feeling right now with Tom Cruise. I think that's a cool movie, loosely based on a real story. So that's what I'm into.
All right. Favorite TV or Netflix show?
Narcos. It kind of goes along with the theme of American Made. So yeah, Narcos is definitely my favorite.
Yeah. What is something that you will never do?
Something I'll never do. I don't know. That's a tough one. I think there's
like is there something that you won't read or something that you won't like
I think I just got to be careful because I want to stay, kind of be a risk taker. I think it's important to, have an open mind when it comes to, especially eating foods. Like there's foods that I say I might not ever eat, but they might be something I need to try sometime. So,
Okay, so just don't dip in Nutella. I don't know if you saw that tweet today from Bread Perez, but
something I'll never eat is peanut butter because I'm allergic to peanut butter. So that's something I'll never do. Eat peanut butter.
So of course I forgot about that.
There we go.
Okay, and then finally, name 3 things that people may not know about Drew Dollar.
Right now I'm at GoPro Motorplex practicing in the go-kart, my buddy's go-kart. So that's one thing they don't know. Another thing is probably know I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, but it's something I'm very proud of. And I always like getting home to see my family and friends in Atlanta. And another thing, I don't know, Casey, what do you think? You got any ideas?
Yeah, are you a big Braves fan or sports fan?
I'm a huge Braves fan. Yeah, I love the Braves. Big Georgia Bulldogs fan as well. So those are my sports teams. Yeah.
Georgia.
There you go.
The Georgia and the Braves are big. Do you have an Acuna jersey on you? Have you gotten that yet?
I don't. I probably need to get one. Those jerseys are expensive though.
I know.
Yeah, those jerseys get expensive.
I know they are. I know it's quite there. As someone that wants to go to 30 parks, it's like, But anyway, hey Drew, thank you so much for coming on and spending a few minutes, and good luck this weekend at Charlotte in the Truck Series as well as the Art.
Great. Thank you so much for having me.
No problem, man.